When Mephibosheth, son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, came to David, he bowed down to pay him honor. David said, Mephibosheth, at your service, he replied. Don't be afraid, David said to him. Let's stop there just for a moment. Do you know that when Mephibosheth came from Lodabar, having been requested to come to the king's palace, you know the only thing in Mephibosheth's mind, what did he expect to happen when he got there? He expected to be killed. He expected judgment because he's a part of the family that pursued David and tried to destroy him. He's expecting the worst. And David sees the fear on his face and he says, don't be afraid. Aren't you glad that when you come to God, some of the first words he wants to speak to you and words that he will often continue to speak to you is do not be afraid. You don't need to be afraid of God because he's the God of compassion and love and mercy. Now, we fear him out of reverence to him. We honor him and we acknowledge our reverence of him, but we don't need to cower in fear toward him. So he says, don't be afraid, David said to him, for I will surely show you. Help me out, church. What is it? So what's David about to do? He's going to unpack this kindness. I got you here because you don't need to be afraid because you're here because I want to give something that I've been longing to give. I want to pour out kindness, the hesed of God, the grace of God, the mercy of God to you. Here is this kindness I want to show you for the sake of your father Jonathan. And notice here it is. I will restore to you all the land that belonged to your grandfather Saul, and you will always eat at my table. Mephibosheth bowed down and said, what is your servant that you should notice a dead dog like me? Mephibosheth said, I can't even believe this is happening to me. I felt like I was a dead dog when I was arriving here, but suddenly I've discovered the beauty and the grace and the love of a king extended to me, and now all that my grandfather owned is now mine. All the land that was his now belongs to me. And not only that, but now I've been invited to eat at the king's table every day. I know where I'm having breakfast tomorrow. I know where I'm having lunch tomorrow. I know where I'm having dinner tomorrow night. It's all going to be at the king's table because he's invited me to eat. I'm one of his sons now. Okay? Everything was changed. Everything was transformed in a brief moment. Overnight, this man comes from Lodabar, a place of devastation, a place of shame. Overnight, he comes to a new place, and suddenly now, because of the grace that has been extended to him, he has restoration in his life, and he has a meal every day of his life. His future is secured. He no longer has to live in shame. He's one of the king's sons.